All the things I want to cover in this video can be done on any guitar with a classic Gibson pickup configuration. So that's 2 humbuckers, a volume and tone control for each pickup, and a 3-way switch. So SGs, 335s, even Telecaster Deluxes, all this stuff should work. I'll write on screen the volume and tone control settings that I'll be using, but just take them with a pinch of salt. There's different pot tapers you can get, there's different ways of wiring the pickups, so your guitar might not react in the exact same way that mine does. You might need to use your ear a little bit to find the equivalent sweet spots on your guitar, that's all. This video is more about the general approaches of using the volume and tone controls and the switch. With that out of the way, let's get into the tone controls, and it's not just about woman tone here. I'll break it into 3 separate sounds depending on how much gain you're using. And on a clean setting with the tone control rolled down a bit, it's prime territory for traditional jazz tone, you know? So think Kenny Burrell and George Benson, stuff like that. And if you use heavy gauge strings, you're gonna get even close to that traditional archtop guitar sound. The second version of this is, as you start to introduce a little bit of gain, you start to move more into a jazz blues, maybe jazz fusion territory. Sort of makes me think of John Scofield or Larry Carlton, stuff like that. Something I see those players sometimes doing to reintroduce a little bit of attack into this, darker sound, is picking quite close to the bridge. It's a real nice way of just, reintroducing a little bit of attack. See what you think. Third sound with the tone controls rolled down, use a fairly high gain and you get that classic Eric Clapton woman tone. It's not just Eric Clapton that uses this sort of sound though. Gary Moore used it on the neck pickup on Parisian Walkways. I think Jeff Beck uses this tone sometimes on his Les Paul for the bridge pickup. Check it out. So far I've been adjusting the amount of gain using the drive control on the overdrive pedal, and it's pretty well known that if you set the gain or drive control on your amp or your overdrive pedal pretty high, then you can use the volume control on your guitar like an overall gain control. So you just roll it down for clean sounds. And then roll it back up for more distorted, overdriven sounds. That is cool, but there's one main problem that I have with this. You don't have access to a really loud, clean sound anymore, and sometimes you need that. You need a clean sound, but you need it really loud to rise above the mix. The way I like to get around it is to use a boost pedal after your overdrive pedal. So if you're getting your overdrive sound from the amp, you would put it in the effects loop, and that way you've got control over the overall volume of your sound. So you're using the volume controls on your guitar to set the gain, and then using the pedal, the boost pedal, to set the overall volume. I'll go through some of my favorite combinations for the volume controls, and I'll just have a little bit of use of the boost pedal as well to show you how you could use that. Okay, this is where it starts to get interesting. Middle position on the switch is both pickups selected together at the same time, and this is about as close as you're going to get, I think, to a more Fender single coil type sound out of this pickup configuration. You're getting the bright bridge pickup mixed together with the full body of the neck pickup, so you start to get a bit of a mid scoop in the sound that can resemble, especially on clean settings, it can resemble that more single coil type sound. Really good for country and funk, reggae, soft arpeggiated chords, stuff like that. For a lot of these styles, I'd normally use a compression pedal, but with the natural compression that you get from humbuckers already, I'm finding I don't really need it, so I might not use that, but it's a really nice sound. See what you think. Now let's look at some of the ways that you can blend the pickups in the middle position. So one way that I like to blend them, which I find really useful, is to start off with both volume controls matched in middle position and then just bring in one of the pickups, say bridge pickup. You can do it with either pickup, but let's say bridge pickup, and it just makes the bridge pickup the dominant sound. So it's that traditional bridge pickup sound, but mixed in with the beefiness of the neck pickup. And it only takes a couple of numbers. Don't if you go too far, it'll just sound like the bridge pickup on its own. But that way you end up with kind of two voicings for the bridge pickup and then the standard neck pickup sound. You can do it the other way around, so you could have two voicings for the neck pickup and then one voicing for the bridge pickup. I find this pretty useful. So for the tone controls in the middle position with both pickups on, check this out. For most wiring setups, it doesn't matter whether you use the bridge pickup tone control or the neck pickup tone control. They both react in the same way. So listen. This next trick is a really good way of getting three much more usable sounds out of the pickup selector switch by reducing the contrast between those sounds. So if you're finding the neck pickup is a bit muddy all the time and at the same time your bridge pickup sounds too bright and harsh, it might feel like you want to adjust the settings on the amp every time you change pickups, then this is a really good fix for that. Super simple as well. All you're doing is taking the tone control of the bridge pickup down to about halfway and leaving it there for every pickup position. Almost jumbles up the positions of the pickup switch. Now your middle position is the darkest sound, so the bridge pickup is your kind of medium neutral sound. And your neck pickup is actually the most bright sound. I find this a really interesting way to set the pickups because your brightest sound is never in danger of sounding too bright or harsh anymore. It's always got that beefiness of the neck pickup. And your mid-neutral tone always has that focus of the bridge pickup. It's very different to your regular kind of middle position when all the tone and volume controls are all the way up. Let me know what you think of this one in the comments, but I find this one really useful. found this useful, I've got a similar video here on Telecaster tones, and think about liking this video and maybe subscribing to the channel.